Your microphone is muted.
Oh my God, I've been talking this whole time and looks like no one heard me. But um, I was just saying, Dylan, that your image looks good. Um, I said that the left corner of the sun looks a little bit off. The nature looks a little bit unrealistic, but other than that, I think it looks good. Lipakshi, um, what prompt did you put? Because it looks like I'm not even sure what it looks like. Oh, a waterfall. Wow, nice. It's a that sound it looks very a little bit abstract as well, because it has multiple different colors. So that's why I think I got a little bit confused. But I'll talk more about other settings we can do, and then we'll go into the video part of it. So on settings, we have the clip guidance scale. If you look at this comment over here, I'm going to uncomment it. Again, if you're new to Python, the if you're in music, the sharp symbol, the pound, in numbers, the pound symbol, basically, I don't know what to call it. I'm going to call it the pound symbol. The pound symbol basically is a comment in Python. Right now it's commented because the default is 25,000. And the clip guidance scale basically states how close, oh, hash. Thank you, Ryan. The hash symbol. The hash symbol basically states how close or the images go based upon the prompt. So for example, I have an image. Um, Let me look at my other settings, initial settings. Yeah, so here I can also put initial image. And here, right, it says none, right? If I go over here, I can upload any image which I have. I do not know what images I have right now. But once that uploads, I think this is the image. I click three dots. I click copy path. Let me close this. And in initial path, I can put in the link of my image. It will manipulate my image. But suppose I want to keep most of my original image constant. I do not want that much variation. So for that, that's why we have the clip guidance scale. It does not affect render time. So it's a good additional parameter to have that you want to control. The greater the clip guidance scale is, the more variation the diffusion model will have on your prompt. I mean, on the images based on your prompt. The lower it is, the less impact it will have. So since I do not even know what image I uploaded, I'm going to keep it out. Keep it none as of right now. I'm going to put the comment back, put the hash symbol back, and I'm not going to manipulate the clip guidance scale unless you want to manipulate the clip guidance scale. I'll put 2000 just for fun. The bad thing is that if you're changing the settings, you need to run the settings again. It takes time. So if I'm only going to show you the settings we can do, and if there's any changes I'm putting to the prompt, I'll show it as well. And another different change you can do is that if you're going to extra settings, and you see it's supposed to see cut I see. Yeah, here is vertical symmetry. If you want to use vertical symmetry in your images, if you want images to be verticals on both sides. You can check this piece of code, check the checkbox, and it will do so accordingly. There is also, let me look at the code. Oh yeah, as you can see, it's just false as of right now. You can turn it to true. Turning on the checkbox will just automatically turn it to true as well. I cannot find another setting which you can use, but we can go over it later at a later time. But remember that you can also play with the different models that you have, different model settings. Yeah, as well. Now we can go on to talking about how we can generate videos based on our AI.
Can I ask, sorry, before you start with that, can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
That I somehow did not really understand what in the text prompts we have the 0 and the 100.
Oh yeah.
Can you quickly say what the difference is?
Correct. So we have 180 steps in total. If you look at our settings initially, I have defined it as 180 total steps that I want to generate in the image. But if you look at 0, I don't even know if this is my, where is my Google Colab notebook? I don't know. I think I accidentally closed out that tab, but it's fine. I can explain it to this example as well. The 0 is basically the 0th frame. So starting from the 0 frame, if you know computer code, the 0 is basically the first frame. Starting from the first frame towards until, since I commented out 100, it's not going to take that into account. But suppose I uncomment 100 from the 0, from the first step to the 100th step or the 100th frame, it is going to keep it as the delicious ice cream sundae. The spelling is wrong as well. But starting from the 100th frame, what if I want to manipulate the images? So starting from the 100th frame, it is going to change. It's going to make a variation to my image. I can change it saying that from the 100th frame, I want it, oh yeah, if you can look at it right here, my runtime is disconnected due to inactivity. This is what will happen since I'm using a GPU, and since it's very intensive, so I'll just reconnect. I'm not going to run just for the sake of time. But starting from the 100th frame, I wanted to talk about something else. I want the prompt to be different. It's going to be the same image in the end, but starting from the 100th frame, the images are going to be manipulated or skewed towards a different prompt. I'm going to say, anyone have any ideas? It does not need to be related to the ice cream.
What if the ice cream turns into spaghetti?
Yeah, that's a very good idea. Spaghetti. I don't even know how to spell spaghetti.
Ghetti.
Thank you. So I'm going to put spaghetti. So starting from the 100th frame, the image of the ice cream is going to turn into spaghetti. And if you look, or if I run this prompt, again, this is not my notebook, so I won't be able to run it. But if any one of you can run it and then maybe share your output image, that'd be great. Starting from the 100th frame, in theory, it should be turning the ice cream into spaghetti, there should be still reminiscences of ice cream in the image because we are keeping it as the total of 180 steps, 180 frames, but we're only keeping 80 frames, 80 steps for spaghetti, 100 frames for a sundae. So that's the difference. Does that make sense? I forgot who asked the question.
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much.
No problem. Does anyone else have any questions before we go on to the video animation aspect? Great. If anyone wants to try this out and put up the final image in the chat, Denise, I saw your image, looks good as well. If you want to put the prompt that's associated with your image, I think that would be helpful to other participants as well, so that they can obtain inspiration. But if anyone wants to try the 0 and the 100 and put out their final image, that would be good visualization as well. Okay.
Do you mind showing again how to find or how to use your own hardware?
How to use my own hardware. Okay. Do you have a GPU card?
Yeah.
Okay. I do not have a GPU card, so I do not know exactly. But I think my guess is that you can connect to a local runtime.
Okay.
And do you have Jupyter Notebook built into your computer?
Oh gosh, no, I don't, but I can figure it out. I bet.
Yeah, if you have Jupyter Notebook, you can put in the link. If you don't know what Jupyter Notebook is, it's another IDE, local IDE. You can run it, you can download it through downloading the Anaconda IDE. But if you connect to your local runtime, follow the instructions to connect to Jupyter Notebook, I think you should connect to using your local GPU, but I'm not exactly sure. So I can do a little bit more research after this and let you know, or if you want to search online as well. I think there's definitely instructions on this.
Yeah, I'm Googling it.
Okay. Yeah, so let's go on to talking about how to create videos, animations using Google Colab. It's the same exact thing, except you're going on to the animation settings. This is super intensive. One 10-second video will take over 4 hours for the program to run. So if you have a local GPU like Xavier, or if you are well off to do and you want to purchase Google Pro, Colab Pro for a faster runtime, you can do that as well. But for a faster runtime, although you can still create videos using the normal Google Colab settings. So here is the initial path of the video. It's just initial path which they created. It comes in with the initial program, but you can change the path of the video to a different video. If you look up Discord Diffusion online, one of the first videos that will come up is a video of The Rock. If you do not know who The Rock is, Dwayne Johnson, he's an actor. There's an image of his face manipulated to look like a robot, or like half of his face to look like a robot. And that is done through Discord Diffusion. And basically they they uploaded their video through upload to session storage and uploading their video. They're put in their path over here. And from then on, they were able to run the program so that they can accordingly change and manipulate space. If you look at the coherency settings, this is basically how accurately the frame translates to how closely each of the frames looks like each other. how coherent the pattern, the prompt relates to do with each of the specific frames. It's in a scale, and based on the scale, you can manipulate the scale to see how close you want it in your video. You can also look at the frame settings. And the frame settings is how close each frame is toward the prompt goal. And it's basically comparing it to each of the different frames across the image that you want to generate, the video that you want to generate. The other settings are not that much needed. Yeah, once that happens, just click run the video. It will output not a video. When it creates this, does anyone have any guesses or ideas of how the final format will be outputted? And Lipakshi, there is no limit to how many times you can use it. Discord Diffusion is completely free, except that it's extremely GPU intensive, since it's an extremely hard, more technical program, and it's a little bit more robust compared to Midjourney. So if you have Google Colab's GPU has a limit, so that might be the only cost factor. But if you space it across multiple days, if you use your GPU resources wisely, it should not be a problem, that much of a problem, to stay on the free plan and use Discord Diffusion often. But going back to my previous question, does anyone have any ideas of how the final images will be, or how the final format, in what format will it output after I run this create videos piece of code? Any guesses?
Be an MP4.
No. Good guess though. If you think in the lens of images, if you look at the example of the images that were generated before, you can see that, or you might be able to guess that it will generate the final output in a series of images. It will be around, for a 10-second video, it might be a few thousand images, depending on your frames per second. Frames per second is basically how many images per second you want to do. If you've seen a few videos online, you can see how if you flip through multiple drawings extremely fast, you can get an animation. That's how initial animation was done a long time ago. Oh, nice. You got a video in 17 seconds. Wait, did it take you 17 seconds to create a video, or did you make a 17-second video? Okay, we can wait until you type in the. Oh, how long did it take you to run a program that is upload 17 seconds? Oh, wow, that's good actually then. When I was running it for a 10-second video, it took me around 4 hours. And even then, my device crashed multiple times. My Google Colab crashed multiple times. So that's good. That I think it depends. I don't even know what it depends on actually right now, because it's supposed to depend on the GPU. Unless using the Pro version, that might have a big impact. But other than that, any tips maybe that you did to make or create your video in such a short amount of time, maybe put in the chat so that other people can use it as well. That would be appreciated. And I can follow from those tips as well.
What is the output? Where does it save the output?
It puts your output in Google Drive. If you go to your Google Drive, oh, you just ran what I had in my notebook. Let me run it as well. It should output your images in Google Drive. If you look at your Google Drive, and if you look at what you named your video before, it was somewhere in the top, but we named our folder, oh yeah, your batch name. By default, it's time to disco. If you named it as something else, you look through your Google Drive, there should be a series of multiple different images. Yeah, this works as well. You can also, instead, if you do not want to download off of Google Drive, you can look through your side, as Denisa is showing at this corner, looking at the bottom. Oh, it does output in MP4. It does actually then. Wonderful. It looks like it's a new update then. And let's look through this file, see what it outputs. I'll share my screen again. I think this is an example of me doing the cottage, but it outputted a 3-second video, multiple different frames, the AI slowly generating the image that we want, the video that we want to see. This is actually a really cool feature. Thank you, Denisa, for pointing that out. I did not catch that initially, but yeah, I think this would be a good way for everyone to create animations. You want to be longer, just add more steps. And I guess that's the way to do the animation aspect of it. I'll quickly explain the final project before we go on to the next stage of the ThinSplite model. I think we're running a little bit over. I mean, we do not have that much time to go over the ThinSplite model, so I'll just talk more about Disco diffusion. But basically, the final project is you can be as creative as possible. There's no, I mean, there's a specific prompt that relates to sustainability, which I'll share a little bit later, but you can be as creative as possible. It's anything related to do with digital storytelling. It can be an image, it can be a video, it can be, we talked about chat GPT APIs before. It can be a story associated with the video. It can be any form of digital storytelling. Through that, you can create, upload it. We'll be sending out a Padlet or a form out soon. And don't wait, this is not due in 1 week. You have until the second week of April when our hackathon starts, so that you can submit it then. But yes, you'll get a document with the prompt on it. We have a lot of prizes for this category as well. We're still under works, but we have, it's not going to be just one winner, but a few of the top winners will get a cash prize as well, the opportunity to do an internship at alongside our main professor who works at Columbia University. So we have that option as well. We'll be sending more information on it soon. Any questions on it?
Is our final project automatically submitted into the hackathon?
there we have a form or like a checklist. If you want to submit it, you can. To earn a final certificate, you need to submit a final project. So as long as you submit a project, you have a certificate. But if you want to be part of the hackathon, it's no additional steps. You just click a checkbox and you'll be in the judging for that process as well.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions anyone has?
Is there also like a detailed description of this final project somewhere?
We will be sending a document within the next few days.
Okay. By the way, I also have one more question to the others about what we did in a minute ago with Discord diffusion. You know, like I was asking about this 0 and 100, like so this transition thing. So in my case, like the second transition image, I didn't really see any effect of it. Like, so how did it go with the others? Like, did you really have those two things merging?
Did anyone else try it out? Okay. What's your name is Y or?
Oh no, it's Yaprak. Sorry, I just like rename it here, so every time it's changing. So I'll put it again.
I will put a message in the Discord. So wait, actually, I'll try testing it out today or tomorrow, and I will send a final image as well as my prompt in the chat in Discord.
Yeah, sure.
And Denise said the thing that was not working for her was the 0 and the 100, where it talked about starting from the 100th frame. It will change the prompt that the diffusion model will focus on. Yeah, so I will. Oh, Xavier said the animation wasn't working. Xavier, any specific problem that you're facing, or?
Oh wait, I'm stupid. I ran the one before the create the video and forgot to create the video.
No worries. Oh, it was kind of blurred. So maybe just add more steps, reduce the frame count. Yeah, that's basically it. We will try to do the deep fake next Friday. Tomorrow we have a guest speaker talking not a lot about digital storytelling, but more about how 2D materials processing power, hardware, and how the use of generative art is very GPU intensive, as we all know, and its impact on the hardware realm as well. So if you're interested, show up tomorrow at 3 p.m. We have that opportunity as well. And if anyone whose code today was not working, if you could send a message in the chat or send me a private message, I can help you work out the problems within the next few days.
One more question, sorry.
Yeah.
Was there actually course yesterday? I think the times changed. If you had it, it was 1 hour later than previously announced. So I think I missed it. But what if you had class yesterday? What happened?
We in the US we have daylight saving time starting this past Sunday. So all our timings got shifted up an hour, if that makes sense. We had class from 7 to 8 max. Or Jason, when was it yesterday?
Yeah, Friday.
It was 6 o'clock for us. I thought it was.
Yeah, our class was from 6 to 7 p.m. yesterday. Today and tomorrow it's 3 to 5 p.m.
Okay, and what was the topic?
Yesterday we were talking about more about GPT-3, and the arrival of GPT-4, how you can call those APIs. Yeah, it was only a 1 hour short lecture.
Yeah.
More about examples as well. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
try to get the recording up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
no problem. Yeah, so since this was in, sorry for the problems with the Zoom. We'll not have those problems tomorrow and starting the next of the sessions. But putting it through these Zoom just makes it a little bit faster for me to upload the recordings as well, since I have personal access to the recordings that I generated. So any other final questions before we call it off a day? I can send my code again in the Discord channel. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. And Max or Jason, Kieran had trouble with Stable Diffusion last week. So if any of you can message her, that would be great. And any other questions anyone has? Okay, great. Then have a great day. Try posting more of your art on the Discord so that we can all learn from each other. And Denisa, thank you for finding the MP4 output generated from the video. I'm going to try that out as well after this meeting. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.